Medical breakthroughs today, fast-track cancer approvals, and WHO milestones. The need for speed in medicine. Welcome back to my channel. It's Friday, February 27th, 2026, and today is a landmark day for medical efficiency. We are seeing the US FDA literally slash months off its review times for life-saving drugs, while the WHO just certified the first EU country to eliminate a major health threat to newborns. From a needle-free revolution in weight loss to a massive shift in how we treat rare lung cancers, here is your medical briefing for today. Top story: FDA's new speedy cancer approval. The news: the FDA just approved Boehringer Ingelheim's zongertinib, Hernexios, as a first-line treatment for a rare form of non-small cell lung cancer, NSCLC. Why it matters? This is only the second drug cleared under the agency's new National Priority Voucher pilot program. Instead of the usual 10 to 12-month wait, this life-saving therapy was approved in just 44 days. The impact: clinical trials showed a staggering 76% reduction in tumor size for previously untreated patients, compared to the 30 to 45% we see with standard care. Global health: Denmark makes history. The milestone: the World Health Organization, WHO, has officially certified Denmark as the first EU country to eliminate mother-to-child transmission of both HIV and syphilis. The global picture: this follows a similar recent certification for Brazil, marking a massive win for universal screening and primary healthcare integrated into maternal services. The oral revolution: no more needles? Weight loss: Eli Lilly is headlining the 2026 Rising Barrett Summit today, focusing on orforglipron, the first non-peptide oral weight loss pill that could replace weekly injections. Huntington's disease: just published in Nature Medicine, the Vibrant HD trial proved that an oral drug, branaplam, can successfully lower toxic protein levels in the spinal fluid by 25%, the first proof that a simple pill can fight Huntington's at the source. Gut health: new data released today warned that replacing water with cola, even diet versions, causes significant gut dysbiosis and liver strain, specifically lowering beneficial lactobacillus levels. Quick hits: vaccines and new approvals. HPV campaign: starting tomorrow, February 28th, India is launching a massive nationwide HPV vaccination campaign for girls aged 14 to combat cervical cancer. Bipolar and schizophrenia: the FDA has just given the green light to Bysanti, milsaperidone, for treating schizophrenia and bipolar I disorder. Rare sinus relief: for the first time ever, Dupixent has been approved to treat allergic fungal rhinosinusitis, a condition that previously had no specific pharmaceutical fix. Future outlook: CRISPR and medtech. CRISPR update: fresh data today shows researchers have used CRISPR-Cas9 to achieve 86% genome editing success in primary AML leukemia samples, paving the way for hyper-personalized cancer treatments. AI heart imaging: the Cara system just received FDA clearance for a CT-based platform that creates 3D maps of the heart's electrical conduction system, allowing surgeons to see exactly where to pace the heart without invasive probes. Rapid-fire round / short snippets. You're bloated. Bloating, when your stomach feels swollen or tight, is one of the most common short-term effects of having too much salt. It helps your body retain water, so extra fluid builds up. Foods don't have to taste salty for them to be high in sodium. Sandwiches, pizza, bagels, and canned soup can be sneaky sources for salt. WebMD. Exercise. Getting moving is good for the body and brain. Exercise pumps blood to the brain, which delivers oxygen and nutrients. It also stimulates the release of proteins that keep brain cells healthy and help grow new ones. Research shows that exercise may grow the areas of your brain that control thinking and memory. WebMD. A noteworthy story / history of medicine. Nashville, Tennessee, 1930. Vivian Thomas was born into the Jim Crow South. He was black in a world that told him what he could and could not become. He wanted to be a doctor. He worked as a carpenter and saved every dollar to attend the Tennessee Agricultural and Industrial College. He planned to go to medical school. Then the Great Depression hit. The bank where he kept his savings collapsed. His money was gone. So were his plans. At 19, Vivian took a job at Vanderbilt University Hospital. He earned $12 a week as a laboratory assistant. He worked in the lab of Dr. Alfred Blaylock. He was expected to clean, care for animals, and stay quiet. Instead, he watched. He listened. He asked smart questions. He understood what the experiments were trying to do. Dr. Blaylock noticed. He began teaching Vivian surgical skills. Vivian had never been to medical school. He had no degree. But he had sharp eyes, a strong memory, and steady hands. Soon, he was performing complex surgeries on lab animals. His stitching was careful and exact. His knowledge of anatomy was deep. By 1933, he was no longer just an assistant in practice. He was Blaylock's research partner. But officially, he was still paid and treated far below his real role. In 1941, Dr. Blaylock moved to Johns Hopkins Hospital to become chief of surgery. He agreed to go only if Vivian came with him. The hospital allowed it. But they gave Vivian a lower status technical title. Then came their biggest challenge. Babies were dying from a heart defect called tetralogy of Fallot. People called it blue baby syndrome. The baby's skin turned blue because their bodies were not getting enough oxygen. Most did not live long. Dr. Helen Taussig asked if a surgery could increase blood flow to the lungs. Blaylock turned to Vivian. Can you figure this out? Vivian went to work. For months, he practiced on dogs. He tried again and again. He had to create new methods. He had to design tools. No one had ever done this before. Finally, he developed a way to connect the subclavian artery to the pulmonary artery. The new path lets more blood reach the lungs. It was bold. It was risky. It had never been tried on a human. On November 29, 1944, they operated on a baby girl named Eileen Saxon. She was 15 months old and weighed only 9 pounds. She was dying. Dr. Blaylock performed the surgery. Vivian stood behind him on a step stool. He quietly guided every move. Deeper. A little to the left. Use smaller sutures there. Blaylock held the tools. Vivian directed the operation. After 4.5 hours, it was over. Eileen's blue lips turned pink. Her fingers turned pink. Oxygen was finally reaching her body. The surgery worked. The procedure became known as the Blaylock-Taussig shunt. It changed medicine. It saved thousands of children. It helped create the field of pediatric heart surgery. Dr. Blaylock became famous. Vivian did not. For 22 years, Vivian trained surgical residents at Johns Hopkins. Many of them became leaders in heart surgery. They learned their skills from him. But he was not called doctor. He was not listed as faculty. He ate with the maintenance staff. His name appeared on no papers. In 1971, after 4 decades of work, Johns Hopkins promoted him to instructor of surgery. Not professor. Instructor. By then, the surgeons he had trained knew the truth. In 1976, the hospital honored him with a portrait. It was placed beside Blaylock's. At the ceremony, former students stood and applauded. Some cried. They knew who had taught them. They knew who had built the foundation. That same year, Johns Hopkins awarded him an honorary doctorate. At last, he was officially Dr. Vivian Thomas. He was 66 years old. He had been doing the work of a surgeon for 46 years. Dr. Vivian Thomas died in 1985 at age 75. In 2004, HBO released a film about his life called Something the Lord Made. Today, students study his work. Scholarships carry his name. The surgery he created is still saving lives more than 80 years later. For most of his career, he was paid and treated far below his true ability. He stood on a step stool so others could stand in the spotlight. He kept working. He kept teaching. He kept saving lives. They called him a janitor. History calls him a hero. Outro. That's your medical news update for today. Which of these updates do you think will have the biggest impact? Let us know in the comments below. Stay informed and stay healthy. Remember to consult a healthcare professional for any medical concerns. If you found this update helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for your regular medical briefing. Disclaimer: use the content after verification.